So here we are looking at the new Drift Ghost S, which is a upgrade to the Drift HD Ghost. And the Ghost S has a better processor, better internal engine. I think it's a Carl Zeiss, and it just has clearer imaging. It has 1080 by 60p at the peak, and then you can do 1080 by 30p, 720, I think up to 120p. So you can get much more smoother motion in your films, and you'll see it in our actual on snow demos, where we took this out for a couple runs and got a couple different things, and we're comparing it with the old Drift HD Ghost. So looking at it, you almost see no difference except for you see an S here after the Ghost, you see an S here. Also, this front part is a little more flat, but it still has a replaceable lens, so if just somebody sends up a rock or super hard ice as you're following them and hits this and it shatters, you won't have any issues. So we've done an A/B test. I just took like 2 poles, taped them together, put each one on, and just went down the hill and filming Jimbo and Jimbo filming me. And you'll be able to see the difference in terms of quality between this and the other one. And as a snowboarder, I can't really see myself using anything other than this, just because first off, I don't put it like this up on top of my helmet, because I just hate that look. I know some people are like, don't mind it at all and just think I'm crazy, but you'll never catch me with a GoPro stuck on the top of my head like this. So what I love doing is just taking this, putting it on the side of my helmet, either way, because you can twist this, so I twist it this way, put this on the left side of my helmet, on my goggles, or you have a goggle attachment like this, so this just pops out, pops back in, you screw this onto here, you attach this to your goggles, and if your goggles are tight, it holds really well. I love that because I just leave this on the goggles. This is attached to here. I just slide it in, and then at the end of the run I pull it off, put it in my pocket, and I can do the same thing with this helmet mount, where I just put it on the helmet like this, slide this in, it's on, and away I go, and you've got a really stable mount. And they give you 2, just coming with just what you get with this goggle is pretty exceptional. This is what comes. These are accessories. This bag here is an accessory, but you get battery, obviously. You get the goggle mount. You get 2 helmet mounts, and then you get this remote control. Has to be charged, but it's red, stop, record. It's just great. I usually don't use it, which I probably should, because these buttons are a little tricky. That's one of my complaints. These soft rubbery buttons often take a little work to hit record and play, but I just hate carrying this extra thing with me, so I never do it. You get a charger, you get this mount. You also get an additional mount, if I can hold it, that opens up for a mic. So you actually get a mic. You have to order this separately, but I think it's only like $30 or something. It's a 3.5 millimeter jack. You can wrap out as you're going down the hill, or narrate something, or just as you're filming a friend, you can do a play-by-play. Then it also just opens up for a HD port, I believe, and it just screws on like this. And so you get that, and then you get just a traditional one that has a better seal for waterproofing. Inside here, it opens up like this. There's a little slide here, and then look at this massive battery. I mean, they really got it right with the Drift HD Ghost and the Drift Ghost S. Both of these, have just a massive battery that lasts they're pretty accurate. We found that their estimates online are pretty accurate, like about 3.5 hours with 1080p by 30 frames per second, and about 3 hours with 1080p by 60 frames per second. And it's just been great. You know, you see you have a little HDMI out here. You have a US, like, it's not the micro, but it's kind of the middle. It's this kind of USB. You can see here. It's got that kind of thing. It's not the slimmest micro, but that's for charging. You know, obviously the HDMI out. And then you have, I think it's a micro HDMI or a mini HDMI, I can't remember. Then you have that mic jack. And then this just goes up over it and covers it. Now the cool thing is this is waterproof without, let me see if I can get this on, just to show you what it looks like. Pardon me. This is waterproof without a cover. So if, for us, snowboarding, we're not really going to submerge ourselves, but if you do, I think you can go down 9 feet. Then if you get an actual waterproof casing for it, I think it's waterproof up to 60 meters. So that's pretty deep. I mean, that's for, you know, you divers and such. But I've never brought this anywhere but to the mountain. And so this is why it's like the snowboarder's choice. You know, if you're into surfing and, you know, all kinds of other stuff where you have an Ultra HD computer, then, you know, then yeah, maybe the GoPro Hero Black is a better call. But this just has easier mounting options. It's got a mic capability. You have access to everything. You have your own screen, even though it can integrate with your smartphone, and you can watch it that way through, I believe, through Bluetooth or some wireless type of connection. The menu is not that easy to deal with, but it's fine to get to everything. And I love the replaceable lens. I love how small it is. It's just a good all-around camera. Then also, you know, you can get this carrying case, which is what I use for bringing this charging cord. I usually just take a goggle mount and the mic and this. And then there's another accessory that Drift really did a good job with. Before, they had this really short, stubby little guy that, you know, could barely get your upper body. They've like almost doubled the size, I think. And so now you have this really long mount that locks in place, so it's pretty sturdy. It's got a little give, but not much. And then you can just screw this on like this. There are no other weird attachments, and that's what I love about this, is you can screw it onto this one run, close this up, put this in your pocket, put it on your goggle the next run, or put it on your helmet the next run, or take this off your goggles and give it to your friend. So you have just a bevy of options. You know, you can film yourself either way, you know, and all you have to do is just turn this to get the right angle. So this is this way. You know, if you were going to mount it on the side of your head, you turn it that way. And I just find that this camera is just what you need for snowboarding. And you know, I just like this better. I even have an Ultra HD laptop that's like, I don't know, like 30 something, you know, 3300 by something else, and it's just crazy. It's got more, it's got a higher resolution than the Mac. It's a Samsung Ultra HD screen, and I just have it set to 1080p because it's just too much. It's not, you know, it's just not ready for that Ultra HD yet, and almost everything that anybody watches is 1080p max. So 1080p with 60 frames per second, huge jump over the 1080p by 30 Drift HD Ghost. So this Ghost S just really does a great job all around in terms of snowboard videos, and this is what we'll be using probably the end of this year, which is just terrible that I got this at the end of the season, but we'll be using this probably into next year too, and try to get some videos of us which I'm pretty lazy about doing. So now that I have this, I'll be a little more motivated to do